We have another overhead. Hi, welcome back. We have another overhead video today. We have collection time today. And we're gonna talk about how this brand has kind of taken over my collection in only 3 years. By the title of the video, you already know that we're gonna go into my Pat McGrath collection. Every Pat McGrath item that I own is displayed down here. So we're going to talk about them in some level of detail, and we're also going to talk about where I'm going in the future with Pat McGrath purchases and products that I may or may not be interested in. So I know that in the great scheme of beauty YouTube, especially the great scheme of Pat McGrath fans and super fans, you may be looking at this collection and think, oh, that's quaint. But honestly, for someone that didn't even know who Pat McGrath was, I may have seen her in the credits of a Vogue photo shoot before, but I wasn't really knowledgeable about her brand before like the summer of 2020 when I started watching beauty YouTube. I've done some damage, in 3 years, I've done some damage. But the reason behind that is because I do think that the brand does, even with their current color stories, I do think that the brand does bring some innovation and some artistry into the makeup space. It does bring something different into the makeup space. And every time I use a Pat McGrath product, for the most part, I get quality, I get luxury, and I get beautiful, beautiful, beautiful makeup. So we're gonna get into it today and just look at the products that I do have, the products that I haven't tried yet from the brand, and what I'm thinking about my future purchases, especially in the near future, considering that holiday season is coming up. My name is Jo, and this is Shimmers and Pans. Enjoy. Okay, so this overhead operation, again, I hope that you can see clearly enough. But if not, I apologize. Eventually, I'll have something better than my phone and be on my knees shooting overhead. But hey, everybody has to start somewhere, right? So let's start with the products that have the fewest categories, I suppose, which is going to be complexion. So this is the only complexion product that I have from Pat McGrath so far. It's the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. I have the shade Medium 17. I kind of bought it blindly on the website. I couldn't figure out a shade match based on other products, so I was kind of concerned about how it was gonna look, but the shade match is perfect. And if you've seen me in other videos, you know what I look like. I bought this on sale last year? No, 2022. Oh yeah, so last year. So Black Friday 2022, I bought it with a couple of other items that we'll talk about later. Mainly because I wanted to try it, not necessarily because I needed a foundation, but I really wanted to try it. I had heard in previous reviews that the longevity on this was not good. So I was a little bit apprehensive, like, ooh, is this gonna be long wearing enough for me? Yes, it is. I've only worn it once on my birthday, but longevity's there. I think the finish is absolutely beautiful. It's this strangely airbrush finish, but that looks really, really natural. And, really just perfected skin that looks glowy and polished and well taken care of. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful product. So while I don't believe in like special occasion makeup, when I want my makeup to be on point, this is probably gonna be the foundation that I reach for. Very happy to have tried it. Then we have 3 lip products. For the record, as with all the other items in this video, all items were purchased by me with my own money. I'm very, very fortunate that I have the disposable income to be able to indulge in makeup the way that I do. So I try to be conscious about what I buy, but I'm definitely very grateful that this little thing of mine, like that I can actually afford it. But yeah, every item in this video has been purchased with my own funds, except for 2, which I'll mention specifically, which were gifts with purchase. So even then, like everything came from like my own purchasing. So these are the 3 lip products that I have. One is a lipstick, one is a lip balm, and the other one, I guess, is also a lip balm. But the difference between these 2 lip balms is that one is tinted and one isn't. Let's go over the lipstick first. So I'm not a connoisseur of like Pat McGrath lipstick packaging. to be honest, and I'm now realizing that I'm actually missing a lip product. I'll fetch it and insert clips in a little bit when I can go get it because it's in my school bag. But this is the Matte Trans lipstick in Full Blooded. Okay, so it is kind of a plummy shade. I don't know, maybe more grape shade, like deep purple shade. I wore it on my birthday. Love the shade. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is the shade of this Full Blooded shade from the Matte Trans lipsticks. The finish on the bullet reminds me of the Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. It reminds me a lot of that because it's kind of that velvety finish. Very comfortable matte on the lips. It doesn't crack on the lines and wears very, very well through like eating and drinking. I was very, very pleasantly surprised. And here's that Full Blooded in my hand. Here's a swatch for you so that you can see what it looks like. This is about like 2 swipes of the lipstick itself, so you get really good color payoff from the get-go. Then we have this Sheer Fetish Color Balm in Wild Cherry. This is a tinted lip balm. I personally really like this color. I'll show you why. So this to me, upon just looking at the bullet, looks more like a traditional lipstick. So when I got it, I thought it was just gonna be a traditional lipstick. But when you apply it and when you swatch it, you notice that it's actually a tinted lip balm. Let me show you. And here's a heavier swatch of that Wild Cherry color. You can definitely build it up, even though it's a tinted lip balm, and make it look quite red. When you apply it on the lips, it reminds me, it gives me like that kind of I ate a popsicle lips vibe. So I really think that it's a perfect summer red. You want a red lip, but you want it to be like a little berry, not too strong, not too structured, so that it's easy to reapply, since in the summer, you know, you're out and about and you're on the go. So who has time for lip liner? Come on. So very, very nice sheer lip balm that still gives you color, still gives you the juicy look on the lips, and you can, you know, reapply and it won't really dry your lips. And then we have this Lip Fetish lip balm. This was a gift with purchase, and it's the clear one. Let me show you. So it's a white bullet. It goes completely clear on the lips and on the skin. Okay, so to the left of the Full Blooded, sorry, you can see a swatch of this clear lip balm. So you have to kind of swatch it heavily so that you can see the sheen on it. It applies very comfortable, but it's not really a hydrating lip balm in my opinion. I guess that it serves more the function of a clear gloss. Not my favorite because I usually go for hydrating lip balms and I don't wear clear lip gloss very often. And if I do, I want it to have like maybe a little bit of sparkle or something like that. So those 2 factors kind of pull me away from that one. I don't particularly love it. Maybe I should have included this one in my I don't love these, but I won't declutter them, because I wear it from time to time, but like I know that I'm gonna apply something else that is more hydrating later on. So this is 3 lipsticks. I'm gonna call them lipsticks just because they have similar packaging and they're lip products. 3 lip products from the Pat McGrath product line. There is a 4th one that is a mini, again, a tinted lip balm that was a gift with purchase, and I'll show you in a little bit. It's just not with me at the moment. So this is a little lipstick that I was missing. I keep it in my school bag, and as you can see, it's a mini. I got it as a gift with purchase with another shade that was too light for me, and I just passed on to my niece because it was never gonna fit me skin tone wise. This is the shade Temptress. Since this is a mini, it doesn't really say what kind of formula this is. It's kind of a satin lipstick formula, but I'm not sure what the exact name in Pat McGrath lingo would be. The packaging, in my opinion, is kind of disappointing. It looks like toy makeup. It looks like kiddie makeup. I mean, that little mechanism to like push the bullet up is really flimsy. I'm afraid every time I use it that it's just gonna break the bullet. And this is what the shade looks like. As you can see, not quite balmy, not quite a satin lipstick. It's kind of a hybrid lipstick lip balm, but very, very comfortable to wear and looks very pretty on the lips. So I don't mind it. I definitely don't mind it. I wore it a bunch too over the summer. So it's a formula that I'm not opposed to trying more in the future in other Pat McGrath products. This is an example of what happens when you are influenced, okay? I was absolutely and 100% influenced by Charlotte Holcroft in this particular purchase. This is the Divine Rose Skin Fetish Ultra Glow Highlighter. This sells out on the Pat McGrath website all the time. I could not find it at Sephora, so I just waited for a while to buy it. It was available during the Black Friday sale last year, so I picked it up. I also love the fact that I got one thing from that Divine Rose collection in the pink packaging. I keep seeing people's Divine Rose 2s in the pink packaging, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could get that pink packaging. It's so pretty. So this is a baked highlighter, and as you can see, it has quite a bit of shift from pink to gold, but it doesn't look crazy on the cheeks. It's very subdued, and you can modulate it a lot. You can take it as intense as you want, or you can make it as subdued as you want, but it's very flexible in terms of like skin tones that it would work for, and it's a very, very elegant highlighter. Love it. It's only like 4 p.m. here and the lighting is already atrocious, so you don't get to see any of the pink in this swatch. You're only seeing gold. I'm trying to move my hand so you can see the pink, but it's hard to see right now, but it does have a really nice rose gold finish, and it can be very easy to modulate or intensify as you prefer. Very finely milled, and you know, since it's a baked formula, is a little bit less grainy than other maybe pressed highlighter formulas. So very happy with that purchase. Very happy to be influenced by Charlotte Holcroft. There's the pink, because Charlotte Holcroft has never led me astray in a purchase. Let's discuss these two face palettes. These were released in holiday 2021. So you see that I have quite a bit of holiday collection packaging, is because I've made some of my larger purchases from Pat McGrath in the holiday launches and the holiday collections themselves. So these two were the accompanying release to this Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey palette, and this was also 2021, the year when Pat McGrath released her much anticipated blushes. So in her holiday launch, she decided to go with face palettes so that people could get a different access to her blushes, and instead of getting single blushes, they could get face palettes with 2 blushes and highlighters. Let's go over them. So first is the Divine Blush and Glow Trio Galactic Sun, and this has Divine Rose, Desert Orchid, and Golden Nectar. So Divine Rose and Desert Orchid are blushes, Golden Nectar is a highlighter. Here they are. Again, I'm very sorry for the lighting, but it's the desert, it gets overcast. I don't know why it happens. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So unfortunately, you don't get to see these very clearly, but Desert Orchid to me is like a perfect blush shade. I would say maybe my favorite blush of all time. It is perfection. There's no makeup look where Desert Orchid is out of place, in my opinion. And as you can see, I've done some damage in the pan embossing. Divine Rose I use fairly often because, again, it's a very, very pretty pink blush that is not too terribly pink. Golden Nectar, very, very nice highlighter. So these are definitely some of like my everyday blushes that I use more often. I haven't been using powder blush very much this year, to be honest, but to me, this is probably one of the best powder blush formulas on the market. Like in most makeup categories, I'm still in a place of like, oh, let's find out better formulas and different formulas. For powder blushes, I'm like, you know, because these exist. Like Pat McGrath nailed it with her blush formula. It is absolutely beautiful. And the highlighter formula, honestly, is not bad. Sad news, kids. Won't be able to give you blush swatches on this one because I'm getting some hard pan in these. I had actually heard people talk about that in videos, and I'm like, hard pan, what? Not a chance. Well, I'm getting hard pan now. Then again, these are almost 2 years old, so I don't know. Maybe there's something to that. They've been closed for a couple of months now, but my point is I'm not getting swatches right now because there is some hard pan in the blushes, not the highlighter. The highlighter is totally fine. So I'll have to deal with the hard pan in these and then, yeah, continue to use them, maybe move them a little bit more to avoid getting hard pan. But yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise. This is the second face palette that came out on that holiday 2021 collection, Divine Blush and Glow Trio Amber Allure. Love Struck, Paradise Venus for the two blushes, and Venus Nectar for the highlighter. Between Golden Nectar and Venus Nectar, I personally prefer Venus Nectar because I really like rose gold highlighters. So in theory, these palettes are supposed to be, you know, the other one with Divine Rose and Desert Orchid for lighter skin tones, and then this one with Love Struck and Paradise Venus more catered to deeper skin tones, but they both work, at least in my medium tan skin tone or tan deep, medium deep skin tone. Love Struck, I would say, is probably the least used of the blushes that I have, but it's not because I don't like it, it's because it's very pigmented, so I have to be very, very careful with it. In these ones, I can show you some swatches. And again, you can see that these are definitely more thought for deeper skin tones. From left to right, Love Struck, Paradise Venus, and Venus Nectar. So Love Struck, pink, Paradise Venus, a terracotta, and then Venus Nectar has some pink on it, but it's mostly champagne-y gold. So for your reference, all of these blushes in these holiday 2021 face palettes are and still are existing shades. So what has happened in the past is that in holiday collections or special collections like the Love collection that came out earlier this year, Pat McGrath has used existing shades for blush palettes, and I think that the goal is to give people the opportunity to try more than one blush shade or have more than one blush shade in a comparable price to the single blush shades that she has. So if you go into like these holiday releases thinking that you're gonna get a new blush shade, most likely you will not. Same thing with highlighter, most likely you will not, because again, these are products that are made for, you know, people like me that, you know, I didn't have any blush, so I bought these two blush palettes that have 4 blush shades and not only try the formula but get some different shades and different finishes. But for like the super Pat McGrath fan that, you know, buys all the blushes individually or wants to see new shades in, you know, these limited edition collections, these might not be for those people. Packaging is fine. It has a magnetic closing even though it's cardboard, which keeps the palettes closed. And again, you know, these holiday collections are made at a more affordable price point, so the expectation is that the packaging is not going to be as luxurious as, say, the motherships, which we will get to in a few minutes. I do think that it's a great way to try the Pat McGrath blush formula, is, you know, to look for these face palettes, but if you're not a face palette person, then those might not be for you. Okay, last two products that are not eyeshadow palettes currently in my collection. One is the Pat McGrath liquid liner in black, and then the Intensifies Artistry wand. So the liquid eyeliner, you know, it works really well. It can give you different finishes of lines. You know, it's a pretty standard black liquid eyeliner. I wouldn't say that it's special and it's not my favorite of all time, but it does work as a liquid eyeliner. It doesn't smudge and it doesn't run and it dries pretty quickly. This, however, the Intensifies Artistry wand. This was released with Mothership 9 Utopian Dream because some of the special shades are kind of flaky. And from what I understand that it is, sorry that mine is kind of dirty, it's basically glitter glue in stick form. So you know, put it in your eye kind of as a glitter glue kind of primer, and then you put on your special shades. Like that's what it was made for. It was to help you hold special shades to the eyes. Personally, I don't need the help of this for special shades to stick to my eyes or have more impact in my eyes, but it has been helpful at other times, and I've used it with other eyeshadow formulas, especially with multi-chromes, for them to kind of like pop a little bit more. I do remember that this product kind of got mixed reviews. I don't know if it's still available or to what extent would Pat McGrath release something like this in the future, but again, for me, a newbie, it's an easy way to dip into how to use glitter glue. All right, what's left is, it's the pièce de résistance, it's the forte of Pat McGrath Labs, which is eyeshadow. It's what the brand is best known for. Eyeshadows are probably the most coveted products from the brand and are really, what keeps the fans like me coming back for more, because the eyeshadows do have something special on them most of the time. So let me just break down the type of eyeshadow product that I have here. So I have 2 Mothership Megas, 3 Motherships, 2 6-pan palettes, and 2 quads. So let's go over them kind of by type, starting with the largest palettes first. Palette number 1, Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey. This was the holiday 2021 holiday palette, the holiday release. And these palettes have, I believe, 18 pans. Okay, and in my opinion are a great introduction to the Pat McGrath formula and the Pat McGrath style of eyeshadows, because as you can see, you get a lot of variety. You still get a fairly sturdy package, big ass mirror, which is important to some people, and quite a bit of variety of shades. So for the most part, you get, some neutrals, you get some mattes, you get some shimmers, you get some metallics. This one is a duochrome. One of my favorite shades from Pat McGrath, that one, this one, I'll show you in a minute. It's really cool. In this case, you have, let's see, matte, shimmer, shimmer, matte, shimmer, 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 metallic, 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 no, shimmer, 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 very shimmery, sparkly, maybe metallic, metallic, and matte. Okay, so this one has a pretty even division of mattes and shimmers, and it's incredibly wearable. Even those bigger pops of color like this yellow, this blue, this green are super wearable. Those more impactful colors make great one and done shadows. This pale silvery lavender, because I think it's kind of duochromy. You see it silver, but I see it lilac from my point of view. Very one and done kind of shadow thing. Some of these pinky shades could work as blush shades in the right skin tone. And again, a palette that I've used a ton. Very wearable, very everyday. I will often do like my whole work week with this one palette. You get different looks on it every time. This was on sale for a while. It's now making its way to discount stores. So whether it's your first Pat McGrath palette or you just want to try a lot of variety in terms of shades and finishes, this is a good purchase. When these come out, usually they retail for like $82 or $85 or something like that. I've seen it on sales for as low as $40, maybe less. So if you can snag this at a discount, go for it, even if it's 2021, because it is an incredibly wearable palette. I've enjoyed it a lot. I still enjoy it a lot. Holiday release number 2. This is the 2022 holiday palette. This is the Mothership Mega Celestial Nirvana, I believe. Very similar artwork to the other one and very similar packaging. Okay, as you can see, like you have the same little ribbons to hold the mirror, same big mirror. The colors got a lot bolder in 2022, and you get a little bit less space because you don't have the Pat McGrath Labs writing in the middle. You have it on the bottom. The pans did get, I think, maybe a little smaller, not sure, but you do get some more cooler shades than before, but still incredibly wearable. I haven't played with this one as much because I bought it last year on Black Friday and didn't get my hands on it until this summer. So I definitely need to play with it more. However, I've already been impressed by this shadow. I've used that. I really like this gold, that very flaky one. That pink is really beautiful. This is a perfect one and done pink. Very excited to play with this blue and this other champagne-y shade. This red would also look very beautiful on a one shadow matte look, to be honest, and maybe in the right skin tone, even as a blush. I can definitely see it. I feel like there are more mattes in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I guess not. Did I count this one? Let's see. 1, 2. No, that's not a matte. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, no. So it's even between mattes and shimmers, but again, same thing happened with this one. It didn't sell out immediately. It was on sale in a bunch of places for a number of months. Now it's kind of trickling its way to discount stores. I think it's a beautiful palette if you like color, if you like bold colors, if you want to see how the Pat McGrath formula performs with these bolder colors, but don't want to go into the motherships because you feel like they don't have enough color, then maybe this one could be for you. That being said, however, you can see that those two, like these two palettes, is a lot of eyeshadow and they're not small. So that means that I will probably, if they release a palette this size this year, I won't buy it. The only exception to that rule, like how would I buy the Mothership Mega this year, is if Pat McGrath gives me like an explosion of multi-chromes in a palette this big, then yeah, I'll buy it, but otherwise no, simply because it's a lot of eyeshadow, I don't have the space, and I already have 2 of these big ones. Holiday release companions from 2022 were these 2 mini eyeshadow palettes, and these are 6-pan palettes, primarily shimmers. So first we have the Celestial Nirvana eyeshadow in Nude Allure, and there are the names of the shades. And then we have the Celestial Nirvana eyeshadow palette in Bronze Bliss, and there are the names of the shades. I bought these because I wanted to have small Pat McGrath palettes that I could take traveling so that I could have access to the shimmers, but without traveling with a heavy mothership or my big Mothership Megas. And here are the shades. I've used all of these shades already. This has 4 shimmers and 1 matte. And this one has also 4 shimmers and 1 matte. And I've used all the shades at this point. Fantastic quality, especially for such a small palette. If you want a more movable, easy to travel with version of the Pat McGrath palettes, really nice impactful shimmers that can be built up for different occasions, these are a great option. These are mostly gonna be palettes that I use for travel, which is how I've been using them for the past few months, or palettes that I use for like a one and done look, because they're incredibly easy to use, and you do get like that standard Pat McGrath quality in the shimmers, in both the shimmers and the mattes. Oh, we're almost there. These are the 2 quads that I own from Pat McGrath. This one is the Ritualistic Rose Blitz Astro Quad. I got this as a gift with purchase. And the Bronze Borealis Eyeshadow Quad. This was another influenced by Charlotte Holcraft purchase. So in Pat McGrath jargon, when you hear Blitz Astral shades or Blitz Astral Quad, and I'm now realizing that I'm missing a quad, so I'll have to go get it. My goodness, when you hear Blitz Astral Quad in Pat McGrath lingo, that means special shades in more layman's terms. I also learned today, because I had never realized that when you don't see the metal rim around these, is because these are baked shades. Thank you, Infinite Garden, for teaching me that today. Very rose goldy kind of shades. I've used all of them already. Again, very travel friendly. I do travel with this if I want to do like special shades on the go. Really enjoy it. I was afraid that the quality wasn't going to be good because it was gift with purchase, but no, totally fine. A better focus. Here are the shades on that Ritualistic Rose eyeshadow quad. For some reason, it makes me think of Neapolitan ice cream. You have a deeper pink, more bronzy brown, a gold, and a duochromy rose gold. Here's the other Blitz Astro Quad that I hadn't shown before. This is, I'm not sure of the name. I'm not sure of the name of this one, but I think that this one came out with Bronze Seduction. And when you see the color story, you may agree because they're kind of similar. Again, baked special shades. Let's see it. Warmer color story, definitely away from the more pink stuff that we see from Pat McGrath these days. I feel like people sometimes think that special shades cannot be used on their own. At least from this squad, I use these on their own all the time. And really, I use my Pat McGrath special shades on their own all the time. Very easy to use as toppers, as accents, as all over the lid, like go crazy. You know, in the back it says use without caution. Really, use without caution, but you're gonna get a spectacular look every time. Here are the swatches for that Blitz Astro Quad in those more bronzy colors. Look at that, it's beautiful. I love this one. It's one of my favorites from my entire Pat McGrath collection. All right, here they are, the big hitters, the game changers, the motherships. So there are 11 motherships in total. These are the 3 that I own. I've purchased all of them. And I've purchased them all like at different times. I don't think that I paid full price for one, actually, for my first one. And then the other 2 I've gotten on sale. So I'm gonna show them to you in the order in which I bought them, not in the order that they go in the lineup. Okay, so this is the first Pat McGrath palette that I bought. Sorry, the first mothership that I bought and the first Pat McGrath product that I bought, period. This I paid full price for. This is Mothership 5 Brown Seduction, which is one of the most popular first Pat McGrath mothership out there, according to like the people that I've seen and the reviews that I've seen, because look at it. It works on a lot of skin tones. It has really beautiful shades that can be amped up or subdued. You have, you know, that classic inner corner highlight on the top left, very dark shade right under it, which is that eggplant shade. That's a beautiful shade, by the way. Then you have a matte that is a little bit lighter but more subdued. That one could play really well as a blush. Then you have a couple of shimmers, 2 shimmers. So I was pointing in my viewer, not here. So these 2 are shimmers, very nice one and done shadows, especially this one, which has like an olive green to it. Beautiful shade. This is a slightly lighter brown, very nice for like accentuating the lower lash line, bringing depth to the crease and all of that. And here are the 4 special shades in this particular mothership. They all have very special ships to them. Special shades. Okay, right now I'm seeing this one green, but it goes into other colors for sure. So you get green, you get gold, you get white. This white is like the perfect topper in my opinion, because it can be really translucent. And then this is probably the best shade in the entire palette, and this red is quite impactful and quite spectacular. You can see that I've used it quite a bit. Like you can see some tiny dips in some of the shades, because again, I don't believe in special occasions. Life is a special occasion. Wear your eyeshadow, people. Okay, so I'll use it anytime. And you know, since it was my first mothership, it was the only mothership that I had for a while. But I agree with the people that say that this is a great first mothership, because it is very wearable while still having those like high level of artistry, special shades that can still work really well in not special, air quotes, occasions. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I understand why this one is so popular. Then my next mothership was Mothership 9 Utopian Dream, which is this palette that I'm holding right now. Okay, so you have those 3 mattes here, very, you know, pinky leaning, but not necessarily pink, because that shade, this shade right here has quite a bit of coral. This is like a pale pink, and this is a bit of a mauvey kind of shade. And then you have this pink shimmer, this other more bronzy shimmer, your classic highlight shade, and then once again the 4 special shades. You do have one that is not baked, but it's a spectacular multi-chrome, so it's okay, we forgive you, Pat. Then, you know, the other ones are, you know, as spectacular as you see them there, although you can see that they are quite a bit flaky, more flaky than other special shades in other motherships. See, if you look at the mirror right now in the video, you're gonna see that that multichrome looks green, but I'm seeing it pink. Love that for me, because I love multichromes. It's just fun. It's just fun. You feel like you're on another planet, okay? Same thing with the purple. In the mirror, if you can see the mirror in your screen, it looks like white, but in the palette right now, I'm seeing it purple, okay? So this one had, I think, really cool special shades that do a lot. I think that a lot of people were disappointed because they expected something different from Divine Rose 1 and Divine Rose 2, because this is what follows Divine Rose 2, and they felt like this wasn't different enough. But I think that over time, this palette has kind of redeemed itself and proven that it actually is different from Divine Rose 1 and Divine Rose 2. Some people advocate for, you know, if you have Divine Rose 1 and 2, you may not need this one. And what I've concluded, for myself at least, is that if I do buy, since I already have this one, Divine Rose 1 or Divine Rose 2, I would buy Divine Rose 2 first, because it has those more like impactful hot pinks, really strong shades, and Divine Rose 1 is like a super neutral palette. And then last but not least, I have Mothership 6 Midnight Sun. I bought it on sale, pre-sticker gate. I bought it while it was discounted for the longest time, and just before it came out with that Star Wars sticker on it. I honestly don't know why I bought it, because this is fairly warm toned, so I hesitated to buy it for a really long time. But I have a neutral tone in my face, so I can get away with warm shades from time to time. It depends on the warm shade, and for the most part, these are all colors that I really enjoy, really like. The only one that gave me pause, yikes, my hand looks really big there, was this kind of mustardy, I don't even know what that color is, yellow? Is that what chartreuse is? It gives me chartreuse from one angle. Special shade, that one I was like, oh, I don't know. I haven't played with all the shades. I haven't worn all the shades in this palette in my face, but what I have worn is absolutely spectacular. And some people call this their favorite mothership ever. Alicia Archer has it as her favorite mothership. I think Charlotte Holcroft mentioned it as her favorite mothership. Like, people warmed up to this one quite a bit. Some people speculate that when it came out, it didn't do very well commercially, but I do think that it's really, really cool. And it has some really interesting shades on it, so I'm excited to play more with it. But this was the last one that I bought, and yeah, I bought it because it was heavily discounted. So this is my complete, well, minus a mini lip balm, that little lip balm in Temptress. Minus this one, this is my entire Pat McGrath collection. It's a bit, I'm happy with it. Will I add to it in the future? Yeah, probably. Blushes, probably not right now. Bronzers, probably not right now, although I do want to try the bronzer formula. I'm just not in the market for a powder bronzer at the moment. I'm curious about the primer, I'm curious about the essence, I'm curious about the concealer and the setting powder, which are products that I haven't tried. I also haven't tried the Dark Star mascara, and I want to try it. I want to try the cream blushes. I want to try the stick highlighters. Like, this brand knows what they're doing. Like, clearly they can create high quality, interesting makeup products. So I'm on board, kids. I'm on the train for a long time. So what am I going to be buying in the near future? Well, like I mentioned before, I'm probably not going to buy the Mothership Mega this year, just out of space constraints, and because I have kind of a lot of eyeshadow, and I want to make sure that I'm using what I have. And you know, I have 2 of those Mega palettes. It's not easy to use them all the time, so this year I probably won't buy the Mothership Mega. I'm open to buying some of those 6-pan little things or a quad, but right now, maybe not. What I do think will be my next Pat McGrath purchase is gonna be the bundle of the first 3 motherships, Mothership 1, 2, and 3. So like Subliminal, Sublime, Subversive, I believe is the order. Those are sold like in a bundle on the Pat McGrath website, and I think, of course, I'm gonna wait for sale. Who do you think I am? I'm gonna buy those 3 in one go. and then I'll decide which ones I want to buy afterwards. It's probably gonna be, I'm thinking right now, I'm gonna buy the first 3 in that bundle that is available. Then I'm probably gonna buy Moonlit Seduction, which is Mothership 10. And then I'm gonna buy Decadence. And then I might buy Divine Rose 2. Divine Rose 1 is the one that I'm like, I don't know that I need you. Sunlit Seduction, same thing, especially after seeing Josie Reviews makeup video today. And then after that, Morgan Turner and her review and comparisons, both of them agreeing that Utopian Dream is like the closest one. It's like they are incredibly similar. So like I have Utopian Dream. I probably don't need Sunlit Seduction, so I don't know that I would ever buy it, if I'm honest. But the others, you know, in time with sales, but again, with motherships, you don't have to stress. They're permanent line. Buy them when you can, buy them when you're really interested in the color story, and just have fun with it when you can. Again, Pat McGrath is becoming like more available to the masses, more available in other retailers. Some products make their ways to discount stores. So that's a good thing, because I do think that the brand is pretty cool and makes good quality products, makes products that for the most part are luxury, are higher level of makeup than what you find from a lot of brands. So it's cool that they are trying to find ways to appeal to the masses and make things that are affordable for more people. But of course, I understand the people that, you know, feel like they miss the artistry and the cool colors and the special shades from the first couple of palettes. Maybe in time they'll find a way to kind of give everybody a little bit of both. But if they don't, we always have the motherships, right? Well, I hope that you found this video interesting, helpful, entertaining, fun. I apologize for not providing swatches of everything, but with the light that I have at the moment, it just didn't seem worth it, because I'm just losing a lot of light right now, and the swatches were just not gonna be very good quality. But I hope you found this enjoyable and it helped you see maybe some of the pros and cons of some of the Pat McGrath products that I own. I will see you next time with another video. If you want to see anything in particular in my channel, I'd be happy to hear from you in the comments. In the meantime, please consider subscribing if this was fun for you, and liking and sharing the videos if you think someone else will enjoy them. Bye guys, I'll see you in the next one.